Hello all, this is Saheli. So today we have come up with another topic. Suppose in your team you are facing any quality related issues, then as a Scrum Master, how you will help your team to overcome it or to address those issues. So before going to that topic, what is the solution part, I would like to elaborate a bit on what actually quality means to the end user, why it is so important. So to elaborate that, I would like to take an real-time example so that you all can relate with it. So recently I have visited to a eye specialty hospital, and when I reached there, they took my appointment, and then what the process they are following here is, after that they are giving you a like a token, and with that token you will need to go, they are sending you to a junior eye doctor first. So what happening there is that doctor, junior doctor, is doing a preliminary checkup of yours, checking your eye power. If you have spec, then your eye power and your spec power is aligned or not, what are the issues you are facing. So they are all addressing all these preliminary things and a basic checkup, and they are writing it down, the observations, and then they will send it to the eye specialist. Now when I was the day when I visited there, there was 5 eye specialists present, and I have seen that there was one attender, and each eye specialist is taking 10 requests per hour. If the attender is seeing that the specialist is having consumed the maximum number of patient requests, like 10 in an hour, so what they are doing is like they are checking now from rest of the 4 specialists, if anyone is having less than 10 patients in their queue, they are diverting you to that list. So now when I reach to the eye specialist, what happened that she is already having all my previous data, and a preliminary checkup is already done, so she need not to do everything from a very granular state, and she can proceed with that basic observation. Right. Now why I am taking this example is because what they want to achieve here by following this process, when they are sending you to a junior doctor and then sending to the eye specialist, what actually they are doing, they are improving their processing time. By the time, suppose you are directly going to the eye specialist, maybe you need to wait for some time because 10 number, maybe you are fifth or sixth queue. So they are utilizing the time without make you wait for that. They are sending to the junior doctor and utilizing the time. And by the time you are reaching to the eye specialist, she need not to do everything from scratch, as I mentioned. So they are improving their processing time. Now, as I mentioned, in 1 hour they are only taking the 10 requests. Why they are doing so? So that they can limit their working progress, and they can give the best service, quality service to the customer. So they are limiting the working progress and increasing their value or the quality of the service to the patient. So I was very impressed with this process, and I was very satisfied. Now suppose after taking the appointment, you are directly reaching to the eye specialist and there is only one specialist present. What will happen? The processing time will be more, as well as all the patient will be handled by only one specialist. So your waiting queue will be long. So there will be delay, as well as process time will be high. Right. Now, to at this situation, to address this issue, they either need to let go some patient, or they need to compromise their quality of their service. by doing it quickly or something like that. Either of these is not recommended, right? So to give best quality assured service to the customer, they are following this process. Okay. So the same happened with our project also. Based on my experience as a scrum master, I have seen mostly quality issue occur when your team underestimate their work, and by the end of the iteration they are piled up with work and they had to like compromise with the quality to complete all the work. Okay, that is one root cause I have seen. The second is, here in the example of the hospital example, you can see from the person who is taking the receptionist, from receptionist to the attender, junior doctor, and the specialist, all are in a sync, all are working, maintaining a cadence, and all are in sync. If any one of them is not able to maintain the sync, full system will be fallout, right? So the second quality issue I have seen in my experience happens when your team don't integrate the work on a regular basis. So what happened as a result of this, they integrate a larger amount of work at the end, the batch size increased, and which in result occur a quality issue. So these are some common area I have seen where quality issues occur more. Now, when it happens, how as a Scrum Master you will help your team? You can discuss this during your retro. You can discuss or revisit your DOD after certain interval of time, whether all the quality checklists are there, we are maintaining those, or anything need to be modified or updated or not. But I will suggest here, if this kind of quality issue happens, don't wait for any events to come. Then and there, just arrange a discussion with the developers, product owner, all the stakeholders who required in this discussion, and facilitate a discussion that what could be the reason for this quality issue. And whenever we brainstorm this kind of like situation, the discussion are divergent, right? So we need output and outcome as well. So as a scrum master, we need to facilitate this discussion in such a way so that after having some root cause, we have convergent discussion as well. Like, you should come up with some action item. As a scrum master, I should make sure or facilitate the event such a way, okay, these are the root cause. Now, what are the action item we could take so that we can avoid this from the next iteration onward? And I need to make sure that team is following that. So based on my experience, I have shared a few root cause and the possible solution. But as I mentioned, there are various other reasons also for this kind of quality issue. So we have Deepika also today with us. Hello, Deepika. So if Deepika, I would like to hear from you as well, how you handle this kind of situation.
Thanks for giving such a wonderful example. So team, so before friends, I will like to recall the questions or revisit on the questions, what is there for this week. So an agile team will be facing various challenges. It can include delivering the quality work. It can be because of the frequent defects or the bugs, and team is not able to meet the definition of done. So as a coach or scrum master, how we can help the team so that team will be able to deliver the quality work, and what are the best practices. So how we will establish the culture of continuous improvement in the team. So to start with, as Saheli, I have highlighted few reasons, what could be the few factors why team delivery is less, or like will not be able to produce the quality work. It can include poor communication within the team. That will be one of the factor. which results in the failure. Because what happens is, if they are working in different time zones, they will not be having a proper handover within the teams, and they will not communicate what is required or what is that. So because of this communication gap, or they are not collaborating in an effective way, so it can be one of the reason. And few times what I have seen in my experience is lack of vision. So team will be just they'll know that sprint or scrum is just, there'll be some user stories and we have to pull that user stories and we have to complete, that's it. So they will not be aware on a larger way, like what is the end goal of this project. So that vision will not be the team will not be aware of it. So at that point of time, as a scrum master, if there is any new team member joining, so we'll have to have some workshops or kind of introduction session where we have what is that our project does. So all these things should be planned with the new joiners, and also frequently we need to have a brainstorming session with the existing team members. So it helps us to see how we can make the process effective, or the any with respect to any technical challenges also, how we can improvise ourselves. And other factors can be like a lack of empowerment or lack of decision making. So team will be depending on a senior architect or someone else in the senior team to make any decisions in any point of time. If there is any defect, they will be so hesitant even to raise a bug in the Jira tool. So they'll be waiting for someone senior only when they give confirmation, okay, you can create. So that kind of gap will be there, and they'll not be empowered to take their own decisions. So these kind of things, and as you said, estimation also, maybe overestimating or underestimating can also be the reason for not giving the quality work to the team. It is, when I say quality, it is not just how many user stories we are completing in the sprint, or how many tasks we are completing. It is like what is the value in that particular sprint we are delivering to the customers. So this will be mainly accountable. So what I would like to share few things here is, I just went through a blog and I got this article there. So we all have encountered these situations. So whether defect is found in the current sprint, or defect is because of any existing iteration, or like I would like to say, if it is not designed whether as expected, not working as designed, but it is found during the sprint. And at that point of the time, what we have to do is we have to fix it as part of the ongoing work. And also we have, it is if that defect is taking too much of large effort, like if it is complex, and if it is taking if you feel that it takes generally during capacity planning, we will be allocating some buffer time for defect fixing. But if it is taking more time than expected, then it is important for us to track it and add that task to the backlog. And also we have to raise these concerns during our daily scrum, so that all are aware within the team what is happening. And so it will give a clarity, and we have as a team will have a shared understanding if it is found during the sprint. And few times it will be not working. There will be situations where things will not be working and it is as designed, but it is found in the existing increment. So at that point of time, we have to create the product backlog item, and we have to make sure that PO is involved, so that he determines the priority of the defect and make appropriate decisions if relevant to product backlog item in the sprint, may be fixed during the sprint, or how it may be based on the situations. So other two categories is like, it is not designed as it should work, but it is found during the sprint. At that point of the time, what we have to do is we have to communicate with the PO immediately to determine whether change is needed or not. So whether if it can be like a kind of a scope creep. So if there is anything that found as a part of design defect, then we have to revisit and see if that change in requirement can be picked up during the sprint, or we have to move it back. So all these decisions should be made by PO. So we have to immediately, any design defect should be immediately given to the product owners, bring to his attention, so that we can collaborate and adjust the sprint scope as necessary. and few times we see the defect. It will be coming from outside. Outside in the sense, when we are having after production release, it will be after post validations. It will be coming from customers, and it will be at that point of time we have to see, we have to create the product backlog item, and as I said, whether how we are going to solve that. So though we have defect trackers and other things, we have to make sure how we capture the defects, how we mitigate those defect, whether it is a risk. So we have to find that root cause and identify that. So as if team is feeling that they are not able to meet definition of done, so it is sprint retrospective. We have to make use of that ceremony, and we have to see if we have to revisit any points, like any items in the definition of done, and see if they are too aggressive that team is not able to meet them, and try to spot what could be the issue why team is not able to meet them. And if needed, we have to sit with team and work it accordingly so that we can make some modification and have team members meet that definition of done. So to conclude, how we ensure that team delivers quality work is, we have in Agile, we know, like, where there are various metrics. So we have to start using those metrics. It can be velocity, burn charts, or any other reports, and defect tracking method, and code coverage. All these things, metrics should be followed by the team, so that the possibility or the struggle or the pain point can be minimized. If not, like, we can't completely avoid them, but it can be minimized to some extent. So first thing is, we should have metrics in place, and we have to work with team, like set the clear goals so that they are aware of the vision of the project or the sprint goal. And so we have to make the daily workflow more effective and efficient, so that team picks up what should be done first. So they will be having 3-4 tasks, and they will not be knowing what is the priority which should be picked first. So all these things should be educated or coached to the team, and we have to make sure that team is focused, and they follow whatever is scheduled. Like, we have to, if we are having some milestone set for this sprint or some this month, so team should be having that commitment to meet that goal. So we have to ensure that we give them a positive or the constructive feedback, and reward the team, so that it is a kind of motivation for the team also. And we have to create an action plan, as you said, so team is aligned and all of us are having a shared understanding. So these things can minimize some struggles what team is facing to meet the definition of done. So Sahil, you wanted to add anything, or?
No, I think you have pretty well covered all the area. So I believe those who will be watching this video will definitely have some insight on it, how we can deal with the quality issues. Thank you, Deepika.
Yes, we have to make sure whether defect is during the sprint or outside the sprint. So,
Right.
correct. So based on the priority of the defect and how it is impacting the current thing, so we have to take actions accordingly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.